How was lunch? We still got some out, don't we? I know where those two cats are. I got to catch them up. Brenda Watson. Such a chocolate. Rule 5? Rule 5 is you should have been paying attention. Rule 5 is people are bored to death. Pardon? So, not for sake of time, did anybody have, let's do 3 or 4. Did anybody have any just burning questions? I dealt with Susan, we were talking to Susan a few minutes ago, I've known for a long time, who's doing a product on how to get, for guys to get their women interested, their wives of many years interested in sex again. Hubert? No, she's not going to have the sex. It's getting your wife interested in sex. That would be a replacement offer. She's talking about an improvement offer. And sometimes you're in an improvement offer. I mean, the thing is, she's got an improvement offer. She loves the offer. She wants to do the offer. Point is, it's a shitty little offer. All right? But she's going to do it anyway, and I ain't going to talk her out of it because she's going to do it. So how do you make the shitty little offer work? And it was a really interesting conversation to have. Matter of fact, I'm going to tell you a really cool story. Don't let me forget when I tell you the Buddha story. Do I have any Buddhists in the room, by the way? Because I'm going to really piss y'all off. I'm sorry. Okay. But y'all can't be pissed off. Well, that's awesome. Yeah, screw the Buddhists, right? Just go up and kick that guy in the balls. He can't be mad at you. Seriously. Yeah. But when I talk about the Buddha, if Richard's in the room, Richard told us a Buddha story. This is Richard Linder back in the back, by the way, little Mr. GQE guy back there. And you know what? He might not look it, but he's straight. Got a couple of kids, everything. Seriously. He really is. Sure could have fooled me. Remember that time? Anyway. You got a story about you and Richard? Really? All right. But anyway, so her offer is that. So she's like, how do I make my offer an opportunity? Well, she can't. It's not an opportunity offer. It's not really. For what she's wanting to do, her job is one of the hardest offers you'll ever try to do. So here's her job. She's got to teach the dude to get his... Yeah, right. She's teaching men about women and sex. We don't know nothing about either one. So she's teaching the dude how to get his wife interested in having sex with him again after multiple years, or being intimate with him in some other way. And, pardon? Lose 100 pounds. Lose 100 pounds, make a whole lot more money, buy a nicer car. Anyway, and I'm sure Susan's pretty good at this stuff. So I'm sure she has a good system for helping these guys do that. If anybody wants to know what that is, she's the super tall chick with the blue hoodies. She's over there. Anyway, so here's her challenge. Okay? He's got to believe he can do it. Right? Impossible. Right? Impossible. But he wants it. The desire is really high. That's the thing she's got going for her. The intense amount of desire, zero amount of faith in himself. She's a distance guru, so she doesn't know them. So she ain't going to show up in the bedroom and go, okay, dude, do this next. It's not going to be what is it, Cyrano de Bergerac? Is the thing? It's not going to happen. So, although it is sort of a Cyrano de Bergerac offer in a way, she's going to tell him what to say, what to do, the 4 steps that you take to do that. Now, how many of you guys would like to know what those 4 steps are? Right? So, nobody. So everybody's getting laid all they want to get laid. Give me a freaking break. Yeah, that's another one of her problems. So they don't want to admit they're wrong because it reminds them of what? Poor decisions and mistakes they've made in the past, right? That's a problem with an improvement offer, right? They know that they've probably screwed this up, even though men, we don't know how we screwed it up, but we're sure we did, right? That's a good thing about men. Women don't know how it got screwed up, but they know they didn't do it. That's the difference. So that's but that's no shit, right? So anyhow, but she's got a double super bad problem, because not only does he have to have the confidence to do it, he's got to believe she's going to have a willingness to receive it, both literally and figuratively, as it turns out. So yeah, tough, right? So, because the worst thing the world try to do is predict the behavior of a third party. It's almost impossible, right? So here's the only thing she can do. She only has one choice, and she's already on it because she's a smart chick. She's a good marker. The offer has to be to him, I have a way that you can get your wife to sleep with you by using these 4 ninja methods. They got to be ninja. Here's why they got to be ninja. Because if I use them on her, she can't know consciously that I'm using them on her. Why? Because I can't get busted, right? If it doesn't work, if you're full of shit and it doesn't work, all I lost was the money I paid you. By the way, this offer won't sell for a lot of money. It'll sell for a little money. There's a lot of them for little money. It has to be real low risk, right? But it's a great front-end offer, but not great. It's an okay front-end offer. But it's an okay front-end offer. People will buy it because why has it got to be ninja? Because he can't fail, man. She said, and she's absolutely right, he can't take one more rejection. He just can't do it. He's the shell of a man already. His confidence is below the concrete of the floor. He can't do it. He's dying, you know. And he's stopped asking for sex, probably, right? He ain't asking. He ain't trying. He ain't asking. He ain't doing nothing, because the only thing that he hates more than not getting sex is being rejected for sex. It's the only thing that's worse, right? And sex in and of itself is a primal need. It's, you know, there's food, water, shelter, sex. Then there's everything else. You know, it's super primal. And almost everything you sell, believe it or not, no matter what you're selling, comes back to sex at the end of the day. There was a Napoleon Hill kind of beat around the bush around that in Think You're Rich. But it really does. I call it peeling the onion. When you peel the onion back far enough on anything you buy, most of the time, other than toilet paper, it comes back to sex. You know, unless it's just an absolute commodity need, you're buying it for some way. Like, who do women dress for? Other women, right? Why? Piss on a rock, mark their territory, right? That's a big part of it. They don't want anybody threatening their territory, you know, because they might not necessarily have giant sex drive with this guy they're with, but they don't want anybody else to screw them, you know. That's the thing, because they don't want to screw their deal up. That's my property, basically. Everybody has a reason, you know, but most of them come back to sex at the end of the day. Sexual expression is the most powerful driver in most of our lives, especially men. Pardon? Well, I got to be good at this. I ain't good at sex. Did I tell you how many times I've been divorced?